What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Threezero Rambo, John Rambo from First Blood, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. You can see the box, the packaging here. You dominate the town. It's a beautiful packaging, basically. Unfortunately, if you buy them, there's no shipper box. I wouldn't. There's a lot of people who wants that. I really don't care. It only helps when I'm selling, but it's Big Bad, so they'll double box it anyway. However, let's take a look at the packaging. Again, it looks good. It has like a movie poster kind of look, and it has a window. As a matter of fact, it has a Velcro on both sides. I like it when they take some time, because some people does display the packaging. There's still there's still like writings on the inside and also on the side. If you have like several figures and not a whole lot, some people, I've seen them display the packaging, so it's nice that it's there, and it's beautiful. However, I have no space. The moment I take out a figure, this packaging is going in the garage. My garage is just a garage for boxes nowadays. But let's take a look at this. It does have an instruction manual on how to put that, I don't know, tarp. Initially it was a tarp. And then that's it. So that's the manual, basically. Well, if you open it up, it tells you, these bullets, how to insert them in the figure. You got that, I don't know, stick or a wooden, I don't know, branch of something. And then you got the M60 and M16 as well. They are both nicely done. This M16, and there's a lot of and then you got a lot of what do you call that, pegs that you could replace with. Some hands in here as well. You got a trigger finger hand, both of them. And then some hands look like trigger fingers, but they're just used to hold, I'm guessing, the knife or that branch that you do have. It's not clear though, or the knife. And speaking of which, this is the knife that he does have. So as far as accessories, he's a pretty good amount of accessories here for Rambo, and you see on the other side as well. Now let's take a closer look at them. So you got one hand that's open palm. You got two hands that are, according to the instructions, the smaller one is for the M16, but looking at it closely, honestly, it looks like both trigger finger hands, like the one on the end, is used to hold both guns, and the other ones are to hold various accessories, like the stick and the knife and all that stuff. And then you got some spare bullets here that you insert into the M60, and you got some bullets as well, to wrap around his body and his waist. Now read the manual, because it is distinctive on how you put them into the body. And you got this, this is made out of plastic, by the way, but it looks real. I like the paint application, where this is kind of like his makeshift spear, so to speak, and then you insert the knife in that hole right there, but you just don't insert it. You remove the bottom part of the knife, which we're going to take a look at, which doubles up as a compass. And I believe inside the knife, because I remember I was an 80s baby, I love this movie, there's like a kit, like a medical kit inside, like to saw yourself and all that. It has some needles and some threads. So this is how you insert that. I don't know why you have to do this. I guess it's not, it feels straight at the bottom. You can't see it, but yeah, there's like a compass in there, which is pretty cool, as a matter of fact, with that small detail inside. So what you'll do is you insert the knife, and then you could put in the compass again if you want to. You don't have to. It's totally your choice. But if it focuses right here, so it kind of is a spear. So again, you could reinsert the compass there. You don't have to. I don't think it'll make or break the look. And now you got this tarp, which is nicely done. It does have some weathering on it, which I'll show later on. Now let's move on to the weapons of choice, which he does have an M16. Pretty nicely done here. Now I do have some M16s, but this one is, there's a lot of moving parts in here. This is not die cast, by the way. This is made out of plastic, and you can see this one opens and closes well. It has this nice paint application where it's not pristine. It has some weathering on it, some silver dry brushing or whatever the case is, but it looks nice. It is very nice. It's a basic M16, nothing fancy in here. So it does have a sling as well. If you want him carrying it over his shoulder, you could. And now on the other side, this is the more iconic weapon, I would say, of Stallone Rambo in that movie, which is the M60. Again, made out of, and I'm glad it's made out of plastic because it feels already heavy. As a matter of fact, it has a bipod, but it doesn't move. As a matter of fact, once you insert this into the hand, because you can see the composition of the body is it's seamless arm, but it bounces back because of the rubber. It's kind of heavy for his joints, so that's kind of upsetting because you can only put him in specific poses, so you can't lift this gun up the way I wanted to. Now let's take a look at the seamless body of this one. It is the same body as Rambo 3. I'll put the link down below if you want to watch that review, but make no mistake, I'm gonna put up a comparison video if you only want one Rambo into your collection, because I know as much as I love these figures, some collectors just want one character for their collection. So, but this is a bit unique in terms of, you know, it has a little bit of damage in it. If you look at the promotional pictures, he looks dirtier than he actually is. And I'm talking about the arms. Now the pants, his boots, amazing. It has some weathering on it. You can see the pants is all dirty. If you remember the movie, he's been, you know, running around and escaping the cops, tumbling down the forest and all that stuff. So it does make sense that he does have all this dirt, wear and tear in his jeans and his body and all that stuff. And he's heavily damaged. Even his shirt right here, as you can see, it has some dirt on it. And I think they did a great job of doing that. But what I'm kind of disappointed is in the arms, because if you look at the promotional pictures again, he looks more dirty than he actually is once you receive the actual figure. I want him to be, you know, kind of grimy and all that stuff. Now, as far as the head sculpt, so this is a clip of the picture, and you see here, it's pretty close. It is pretty darn close, I would say. And he does have that blood flowing down on the side of his face. It looks good. Now, this is Rambo 1, so Stallone's a bit younger, slimmer, because towards Rambo 3, he's a bit more beefier in that movie. However, I'm pretty convinced that they used the same head sculpt and the same body for both of these figures. Obviously different hair, and I do like the fact that this hair is in two separate molds, as you can see there, because they could have gone with a like a sculpted bandana here, you know, like that, but they didn't. The same goes with Rambo 3, so you could kind of move this around. But I like the fact that it's kind of tucked inside that two-piece hair, so I do love that. I also love the blood on the side of his face. Again, I'm gonna mention it, I wish he would have had more to create a more distinct look compared to his Rambo 3 counterpart. But with that being said, this is one of the better Threezero head sculpts out there, because as we all know, they could be hit or miss. They could be doing a Rick Grimes and then they're gonna do an Arya Stark on the next. So, but I am happy to announce that this is one of the better ones. Now, articulation wise, this is a seamless body, as you can see. So there's a lot of limitations here. So on the side, it is you can hear the ratchet on the arms, especially moving sideways. This body seems the same one, or at least the method that they have is the same one that I have with my Daryl Dixon. He's just like 5-6 years old now. As you can see here, you do have some articulation, but because of the rubber, there's a give. It rebounces back to its original form. Now there's some waist articulation as well. There should be some sort of a leg movement here, but the pants seems a bit loose on that area, so it is kind of hindering some poses where I wanted him kneeling down. but I'm having a hard time pulling up his knee forward, like kicking forward to achieve that look. So keep that in mind. Maybe if I pull the pants up a little bit up, you know, above, then maybe I can achieve that pose. Now speaking of poses, let's go into that. So this is him wearing that tarp that he got from, I think it's one of the trucks, and then he got that kind of, I don't know, I feel like this wire tires, you know, like you see this when you buy a bread or something. So if you lose this, you can easily replace it with one. And in the instructions they said, like, do it like this. You can actually do it however you want. And this is him. So I do like the idea that he does have seamless joints, and even the wrist pegs are painted, so it's a little bigger though. So I would say, you know, I'm not a big fan of that, but in Rambo 3 he does have a watch, so at least it does hide one of the wrist pegs. But this one, I could have gone with a smaller one, you know, or a larger opening on the hand so you can kind of cover it up. Kind of, you know, just, I don't know, kind of ruins the immersion for me. But this is, again, Rambo in the depths of fire in here, holding his M60, just wielding it up and down, you know. So you can see the M60 it's not where I wanted it to be pose wise. I wanted to be higher, but the elbows keeps rebounding back to this default position, which is frustrating. But what are you gonna do? That is their bodies, you know, the rubber sleeve, so to speak, that he does have. It does have its moments. And here he is, height comparison wise, with an older Terminator Genesis. So you can see he's a tad bit smaller, shorter than Arnie here, and they're in an alley ready to show down with the rock stars of the 80s, the action heroes that I grew up with. Looking good. I sold my Terminator DX12. Is it DX12? No, DX13 a while back. So I'm gonna have to deal with this. But so far, you know, this 80s action heroes that we have here. So now, final thoughts for this Threezero Rambo. Overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with this. Keep in mind, I do have Rambo 3, and I'm gonna do a comparison video between the two. But for $200, it's a little bit more. It's $10 more than Rambo 3, but I think you get your money's worth. He does come with decent amount of accessories. The head sculpt is pretty good. The body, for the most part, stands pretty well. You know, it's not the most articulated figure, but as of now, Rambo 3 is sold out. So if you want something to represent your Rambo shelf, or just to represent Rambo, this would be the best option that you have now. And for the price of $200, getting all that you see on the screen right now, I think it's a pretty good deal. Now, it's been out for a while now, so it's due for a sale. If you can wait a little bit longer, maybe you'll find this on the cheap. If you could, that makes the value even better. But as it is, for $200, and if you get it at Big Bad $4 shipping, I think you can't go wrong. The likeness is pretty good. The body has no seams, you know, like it does have seamless elbows. The shoulders, you know, that is expected, but if you move it around, you can minimize those gaps. Decent amount of accessories. You can sport a different look. You can even take out the shirt if you want to. So I would highly recommend this if you are an 80s baby or a Rambo fan, or just like, you know, nostalgia in general. So thank you for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this figure? Are you gonna pick it up? Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.